Hello everyone, welcome to Redbusters channel. In this video, we look at the weekly roundup of US employment-based immigration updates, both on H1B, green card front, more primarily focused on employment-based and student and other visas as well, based on that. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe for getting regular updates. So this week, this update is for the week of April 13th to 18th. That's what we look. So the big change for this week are the changes in the May Visa Bulletin that was just released a few days ago, and we look at H1B slot status, and we look at what things are also not changed, and what are the things that are currently in progress as well. So this is what we'll cover in this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe for getting regular updates. So first things first, the big news is the Visa Bulletin, right? Again, Visa Bulletin is a huge thing. I mean, every month, many of us wait for the dates, what is moving, what is not moving, because it's essentially is a game changer for many people who are waiting in line. So the biggest update, for this May Visa Bulletin is that USA switched the charts, the dates from basically the chart that they use. So last month they said you can use dates of filing. Now for this month, basically for the May, they suggested that you need to use final action dates and not dates of filing, and we'll see why that is a big change in the next slides. Again, there are no changes in the final action dates. Basically, there is no movement in May across EB1, EB2, EB3. They all hold steady. Most of them are technically stuck. That's the point, right? And EB5, China advances by about 3 weeks. That's what I bet it. And the big date to remember is if you want to leverage the dates of filing chart, your last day to file for adjustment of status is April 30th, right? So what you see on the screen is actually from the USA's website, right? As you can see, April 2076, employment-based, we were using dates of filing, and now for May, employment-based, you need to use final action date. So it's actually directly coming from the USA's website, right? And it's much more generous. We'll see why that part is, right? So what you see on the screen is basically the chart, right? Like how it looked in April versus May. I mean, we try to highlight the ones that are impacted hugely, right? Especially it impacts Indians, especially because you can see it's about 8 months here itself, right? So just to compare next year, we've actually done another slide that actually talks more details. So that's what we'll see, right? So if you see on the screen now, the impact essentially is about for EB1, it's about 8 months loss, So think about, you are going to be pushed now by 8 months, so that's a long wait actually. For EB2, it's about 6 months loss. And EB3, I mean, it's not necessary, it doesn't mean that you're going to get the green card, but I guess once you are in that phase, it just puts you ahead by many others because you're already in the pool. You can take advantage of other benefits that you get with adjustment of status and all sorts of the thing, right? But so the biggest takeaway, right, if you are an Indian and any of these, right, fall into that, you do not delay that by end of this month. Take advantage of the dates of filing, chart B that we have, and then by end of this month, ensure you file that. So that way you get your application in, and then you're in a much better position. So that's the key message. Talk to your attorney definitely. This is something you must do. So that's the key message. I guess we are trying to tell the same thing. So yeah, you'll literally lose a lot of things. So just file immediately. That's the key message. In terms of H1B, H4 visa slots, many people are continuing to wait, right? There are, so last week and week before, there were some slots that were released. A week before was actually bulk slots. There were a lot more slots released, and we had a lot of updates from community that many were able to book. But I guess this week, in fact, there were no slots released based on the feedback that we have from community. Technically, it means that there are a few slots that are like, ghost, they call it ghost slots, where, something opens up randomly and goes away. These are essentially people are canceling, some changes around that, right? So many people who are not able to book anything, so they've been waiting. So the key message is, if you are in the US, do not try to travel unless it's really, really emergency, because there is no slots if you need stamping. And respect of that, the situation with travel is pretty tricky in the current immigration environment. So do not travel, and it's really, really emergency for you, right? So that's the key thing. So what remains or what's going on? Currently this is updates from a few weeks. If you have missed last week, right? We are currently having the filing window for H1B 2027 season, April 1st to June 30th. So there is no data related to how many applications are submitted. So we're still waiting on the data. So we can expect in July. Um, you know, Again, there is no details on second round lottery because people can tell whatever they can predictions. There is no update on that second round lottery, so we'll only know after that. And still, we have the 100K fee thing that is applicable for people who are outside of the US. That is also still in there. And also, we have social media vetting that's active. Another important one is we have a proposed rule that is in the comment period, right? Public comment period until May 26th. So these are things that are currently happening, that happened in the last few weeks. So there are no major developments in addition to what we have things going on. Other than the visa bulletin this week has been pretty okay, I would say that's a big thing. In summary, right? If you are somebody looking, to file adjustment of status, look at the charts, and if your dates are, around the dates of filing, do take advantage of that and just file immediately. That will give you an advantage. You have literally like 10 days left for that to do that, right? Again, no change in the movement, right? I mean, in terms of the changes, the final action date, they all hold steady. There is no movement in the major categories. So one important thing is we could expect some retrogression later this year because the way they moved so much, we could expect something. Maybe we'll do another video on looking at the numbers, I guess, more. But right now, right now we don't have the data to look at all of that. So that's why it's just a hunch, right? Looking at how they have advanced. So that's the thing, right? And there are no H1B slots, and with many people continue to wait. Again, there are no major visa updates, other than whatever are currently in happening, right? So thank you for watching, and do subscribe for getting regular updates.